At the tail end of 2011, I was getting ready to move out to California from Michigan, and I started writing my goals down. I'd write my goals every day and rewrite them until they evolved and changed into more clear-cut, defined goals. And one of the goals I wrote down was work out with Tony Horton. He is the creator of P90X and the host of it, and I had done P90X in 2011 twice. I lost 35 pounds and really changed my life, so one of my goals was to work out with him. And 3 years later, it's 2014 now, I got the chance to work out with him one-on-one at his house. And we made a video about it, and we also made a video of us helping a street performer at the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, because Tony and I both used to be street performers and we know the hustle and the grind, so we wanted to use a magic trick to help someone out, to had some skill and talent. And so we made both the videos, but we also did a third video where we just sat down and had a talk, a 30-minute chat about, where we've come from, what we want to do, what we've done, what we've had to do in order to be where we are now, and all that. And this is that raw interview, completely uncensored, uncut, and so that's what this video is. I wanted to show you this. This is a real life, real shit stuff, real life stuff.
All right.
This was a list of goals that I used to write. I used to write goals back to back, and then every day
and
just
rewrite
the goals all the time.
You have
right?
got it wired, brother. That's how you get it done, man.
So this was before 2012, January 2012, and one of them was number 12, workout
with Tony Horton. Yes, well, today is your lucky day, isn't it, dude?
It's crazy.
Yeah. There it is. When did you write this, in 2012?
It had to have been around 2012, 2011 even, maybe.
Wow. How excited are you going to be just to go, oh, that's
Well, when I wrote that, I thought it was going to be at Las Vegas when you do then I'd be amongst 10,000 people.
Yeah, right.
So it's crazy.
Just you and me, one-on-one.
I know.
Yeah.
Weird.
Dreams, they come true. They come true for you. We'll cut that out. We'll edit that out later.
You forgot "and me too."
And my dreams came because of Beachbody, man. Because, I had a crappy little apartment. We actually drove by it today, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, that crappy
Was
little
it
alley.
one bedroom?
Well, it was a 3-bedroom, rent control. But it started out as 2, then I took on the place next door after somebody moved out, and I converted it into a 3. But, yeah, I had just the worst setup, Broken down cars that were broken into, a view of nothing. I thought it was awesome.
When did you move out here from Connecticut?
1980.
1980.
How old were you in 1980?
I was
negative
10.
Yeah. So, but still, look how much we look a lot alike in our youthfulness.
You know why that is?
Because I don't go in the sun anymore.
Is that why?
Yeah.
No more tanning?
Nope. Zero. Zilch. Hate it. And I'm making up for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got all these, things I got to deal with my skin. But I came out here and I loved it, and it was different from the East Coast. You're from Michigan. I'm from Connecticut, Rhode Island, and it's just a completely different look at the world. It's a brand new perspective. If there was anything to say to anybody out there when it comes to advice, I would just say create a new perspective. Get out of your comfort zone. Get away from the same old. And sometimes it's as easy, and I think it happened. Like you came out here to California, and there's sort of a sense of, wow, I can be an entrepreneur. I can create my own thing, and I don't have to rely on the man. I don't have to go into the office and work in the cubicle. And you've done it, and it's awesome to see. It was
just really weird and inspiring to see people that were around my age waking up when they want to and going to bed when they want to. I was just like, if these guys are doing it, then it is possible. I don't know if I can do it, but I know that people are doing it, and that was a big reason for coming out here. Why do you want to come down? Why LA
I came out here for a summer vacation. I was going to go to Boston. I was going to wait tables. There was a modeling agency that I was going to go talk to. I had one headshot, that was that's why I had no hope, really. A buddy of mine called me and said, what are you doing for the summer? I told him, just that. He said, you want to come to California for the summer? I went, boom, done. I went, oh my God, yeah, huh. I'll follow you, let's do it. And I was in Orange County, and I slept on his sister's couch for the summer. I'm sorry, his sister's floor for the summer. And I would do pantomime, I was a street performer, just like you. Here's what I packed. I packed, some general summer clothes, and my mime outfit, which was these black pants and black shoes, and all my makeup, and a hat that I would have people put money in.
How do you practice it? No, like, was it just a natural trait that you?
Well,
did you go out there
no. I mean, I was a trained pantomime back at school. I was doing these one-man shows back in those days. I'd go out into the street in Newport, Rhode Island, and I would put my hat down. I was waiting tables at night, but during the day to make extra money, I would go down there and work my craft. I could do it all: walk in the box and climb the ladder and the rope, and and lean on the bar and walk in the wind and all the basic stuff, and do the stuff with the face and all that kind of thing. So yeah, and my routine was a little X-rated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a little threesome thing right there in the open.
You had other people helping you? Or
No, it was me and two imaginary girls that were in the bit. So I would be there with the girl, the whole bit. And people would know. I'd be, cozy up to the bar and lean and buy the beer and drink the beer, and put it down, and I'd talk to the girl, and I'd touch her face. Oh, I'm sorry. And then, and I want a beer, drink. It was like basically date rape. Mime date rape. That's what it was. Horrible. I mean, fussing with the bra and reaching down her pants, and then, licking her esophagus with my tongue. It was completely crazy and irreverent. And, it was college audiences. So, they were screaming because it was kind of nasty and silly, but it was very visual, and they could, when you're reaching around and grabbing a girl right there, a little bit. It was disgusting and horrible, and I'm sure don't edit that out. But yeah, and that's how I got started. Then I came out here. I had no job. I had no money. I ran out of money in Boulder, Colorado. Ran out.
Oh, on the drive over here?
On the drive over here. I had to put the makeup on, make about $125 so that I could make my way back, up to California, to Orange County.
Was fitness always kind of the number one? Did you have some number one thing, but you had to do the side hustle to get to that, or where? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. No, fitness was off the radar. I played sports, but I didn't train. And the reason why I was a bad athlete is because I didn't train. I didn't know how to do plyometrics and yoga and Pilates and core and functional fitness. I took a weightlifting class in college, and I got muscles, and I thought that was kind of cool. But when the semester was over, I didn't go to class anymore, and it wasn't like I was going to go down to the gym on my own. I wanted to earn my easy A. So I was always, like I think a lot of people now, they don't understand the importance of regular exercise and how that sort of helps your overall state of being. And they don't understand that fitness and healthy food feed you mentally, emotionally, and physically.
Yeah. And
so I didn't know that then. I just did it because I wanted big arms and a chest and meet girls. But it's different now. The reason why I do it now is totally different. But that was it then. And so when I came out here, I wanted to act. I wanted to do stand-up comedy and a little bit of modeling when I was younger and better looking. And I had that gig, but I was also waiting tables and building furniture and being a stripper at people's bachelorette parties and all kinds of weird gigs. So
well, a lot of people they don't either make time. It's like, oh, I don't have any time. It's like you got to make time to do those kind of workouts, and you can never out-train a shitty diet. That's another.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people can. I mean, the one thing I have learned in all these years is one size doesn't fit all. So if you're looking for advice for somebody who can do something that doesn't work for you, then you have to kind of take into consideration that, yeah, maybe they're an ectomorph and they have a high metabolism and their training habits are X. You're Y, and you're not any of those things. So, some people have to just be more diligent with their diet as opposed to others.
Yeah, like my thing is just came out here, and magic is just always clicked, like how some people get math. Like I kind of just get magic in the performance aspect.
When was your first interest in that? Like, what did you
probably
first get going
when I was 13? It was just the idea of manipulating people appealed to me for some reason. The idea
in a positive, upbeat way.
Right.
Yes.
It's like, how can I trick people into liking me? That was a big thing.
Me too.
I was big time bullied.
Yeah. And where are they now? They're friggin' bagging groceries at the 7-Eleven. I don't know. But yeah, I was the same way. I was a skinny kid. I was a kid that got beat up and pushed in my locker and had his lunch money stolen and and beat up at the bus stop, all that stuff, man. Because I was a bit of a wise guy.
I was a smart ass.
I was a bit of a
Tongue
smart
in
ass.
cheek.
Yeah, I had the verbal verbosity that allowed me to sort of, make them look stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that. You just need to kind of be humble and hang back and hide. But I couldn't do it. If somebody was going to give me crap, then I had to open my mouth, and then I got in bigger trouble.
I was always the class clown. That was my way of trying to get people to like me, but then that ended up backfiring because he's an idiot. And then on top of that, it all just stemmed from people not liking me because I was like a class clown. I was trying too hard to be liked. And then once I wasn't liked, I had no friends in 8th grade going to 9th grade, so I just worked out like every single day, and I lost like body fat, and
Wow.
I got contacts instead of glasses, and tried to clear up my face and all that good stuff.
Right.
But when I came back, and then I also spent those 3 months working out, but also practicing magic every day because I had nothing else to do. And so when I came
What
back,
was the first thing that you saw? Like, what magic trick did you see and you went, "Oh my God, this is cool. I gotta learn how to do it."
I think my friend just showed me a simple card trick, and I was mad because he knew something that I didn't know, and that's kind of where I've always felt stupid, just like that. I'm just not that intelligent of a person, so I'd get really angered when people would make fun of my intelligence, and
They made fun of you?
yeah,
Like, they just thought what you weren't.
they would
What kind of
just
student were you?
both my parents were school teachers, so I wouldn't fail, but I didn't feel compelled to go crazy hard.
So you didn't
I
apply
guess.
yourself much.
I just applied myself to my imagination more and more of like bigger goals than academics, I guess. And learning a skilled trade. I don't know, I was always more about do what you love versus trying to do what other people
To fit into a
expect
mold
of you.
based on what people expect.
That's why I don't drink, that's why I don't smoke. It's because it was all stuff that other people were doing, and I was like, well, if everyone was doing this, then I don't want to follow that. I'd rather be my own leader.
Yeah, I think it sounds like we've had some similar paths, except for the drinking and the smoking part. I had some of that when I was younger. I think probably because I wanted to fit in. But when everybody else was drinking in high school, I wasn't. I didn't start drinking alcohol until maybe my senior year in high school. And even when I did, we did the whole bit where everybody would go to the package store. We called it the package store, the liquor store. And we'd all get a 6-pack, and we'd go to parties. And you're all carrying, you'd be carrying your 6-pack around. So you started out with 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then, I saw what people were doing. You could tell when they only had one more beer left that they were, starting to act pretty silly. So I would go to the bathroom. Instead of drinking them, I would just pour them down the drain. And I would act drunk, more drunk throughout the night. Yeah, bro, right, come on now.
Are we just the coolest
Oh,
friends?
man, this is great. These guys are so great. This girl's, I think she likes me, dude.
She totally wants to bone me.
I think she does. I think she wants to bone. I think she wants to bone me first, but that's fine. I'm sure
Let's
you're
do
cool with
it
that.
together, man.
Yeah, dude. But here's what's funny: as the senior year progressed, less went into the sink and more went into me, and I didn't have to fake it anymore. And then I got into some other things too. But then when I got into college, I was doing everything. It was the '70s, right? I mean, it was just everybody was kind of living on the edge and drinking and smoking grass, and do they still call it grass? I don't know what they call it anymore. The
They call
ganj,
it ice cream.
the bud. You call it ice cream?
It's the best code word. Let's go
Some ice
eat
cream.
some ice cream.
We had a code word for beer because, back in the 70s, no cell phones. Everybody had one phone in their house. It was in the kitchen. It was avocado green. It had a cord about 25 yards long. And so when you got on the phone, because the package store, the liquor store closed at 8, and you'd say, yeah, you picking up Bob and Norm and Gus? Who's getting Gus? You're getting Gus? I don't have time to get Gus. My mother would say, when are we going to meet this Gus fellow that you keep? Oh, he lives in Shelton. He's too far away. Maybe don't sue his hard. Maybe you met Gus. You met Gus, Mom.
Yeah.
He's in the car, empty, crushed, under the seat. That's where Gus is. So yeah, we had a little code thing. But as far as the insecurity thing and being made fun of and a crappy student and being really insecure, I had a speech impediment. I used to talk so fast that the words would just run together, and then I would stutter and stammer sometimes because I would assume that the people that I was speaking with didn't really want to hear what I had to say, so I figured if I rushed it,
Yeah.
I could get it in, and I would trick them into hearing me. I don't know. It's so funny when you're a little kid, the things that you do.
A lot of people speak
to
very
survive.
quickly because they are afraid that people aren't listening to them.
Yeah.
So they try to get it out as fast as they can.
So I know we're sort of here in the midst of kind of interviewing each other, or just chatting in general. But what I'm fascinated about is you're not one of these guys with sort of a myopic view of what you want to be, right? So you've got this magic that you're great at, and of course you're one of the innovators on YouTube right now. It's this industry's in its infancy. I'm the old man who's trying to cut my way in.
You're the young old guy.
I'm young in demeanor, older in numbers, but I'm trying to jump in where you're already having great success. But on top of that, you've got this wrestling interest.
Yeah.
You've wrestled how many times now?
Over 400 matches probably across 9 different states
That's
so far.
crazy, dude.
Been wrestling since I was 17, 2007.
And so how did that get in the mix? Okay, so you had the magic when you were 12, and then wrestling at 17.
Wrestling always came one. Wrestling's been around since I was 8. I just didn't get to start wrestling till I was 17. I guess it didn't niche for me as well as magic did, because wrestling is
harder
super,
to get into.
harder
Unless you
to
have
be,
matches in your backyard or something, maybe.
right?
Yeah.
And we were doing that. We were wrestling on the trampoline and stuff, but then it's like because there's no wrestling ring. And then finally a wrestling ring showed up when I was 17 and started wrestling
this
like
is in
every
Michigan?
Sunday. Yep, this is
wow.
in Michigan. And then I was like, I have to get out of Michigan. And now I'm wrestling on actually on TV over here in Los Angeles, which is cool. But the bigger goal has always been WWE, like World Wrestling Entertainment, pro wrestling. It's one of those. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I know that's what I want.
So can you use your notoriety on YouTube as a means to sort of get the fan base to help, get you there?
That's what I'm hoping. I always kind of thought, if I was popular enough that fans kind of just started backing me, and then while I keep training and getting better at actual wrestling, because they're not going to take you if you're shit, if you're bad, if you're not good enough.
Would you consider yourself pretty good at it? Pretty good at what you do?
I consider myself focused enough to learn what it takes to be better than average.
And so how would you parlay that into the next, if you had a 10-year goal? Where would you see yourself? You're 24. Where do you see yourself at 34?
Got to be in WWE at 34, hopefully. One of the ideas was it'd be cool because my wrestling character is a magician, illusionist, hypnotist.
So do you incorporate that into your matches?
Right.
Wow. Do
you like cool escapes, getting out of stuff and controlling the power in the building and stuff like that? It's cool and it's
so
fun.
I'm assuming that you have a character / persona.
Yes.
What is your costume? What do you wear?
I'll wear a black straitjacket out to the ring, and I'll paint. I have a mask that I wear that's half smiling, half angry.
Oh.
And sometimes I'll paint my nails black, and it's just black and yellow themed, much like
Yellow?
the Disturbed Reality channel.
Yeah, my producer Chelsea loves that idea already.
Yeah.
Black and yellow. And so what about, do you change your voice?
Yeah, I will.
Let me hear your wrestling voice. What would you do?
It's very, you see, the thing is, Tony, it's not easy making a name for yourself, but that's something that you and I are pretty good at doing, Tony.
I don't know what that is.
I am a world famous magician. I'm probably #1 on social media. And you are a fitness guru. We are both.
That's true.
We are both national treasures.
Has the match started?
We just don't get the respect that we've earned. That just pisses me right off. And so what can you do to let everyone know just who you are? See, you got to make things happen.
You do. You can't rely on others.
You can't wait for other people.
That's true. Yeah.
And a lot of people just think that stuff's just going to fall in their goddamn lap. While I'm out here hustling, grinding, changing lives. lives just like you're changing. You've changed my life.
I like
Do you
that.
know that?
I've heard that.
Well, no,
You
you
got
heard
the
it straight
you got
from
the
the
shorts
horse's
that prove
mouth.
it right there. It says P90X2. A couple of burns, but I don't know what that's from.
Burns happen.
They do. It's you
gotta
get too
survive.
close to the fire, boom, you get burnt.
He also has a name.
What is your name? Your character's name?
Jarek 120.
That's great. Who'd you come up with that logo?
I actually reached out to a fan, all my fan base. I said, hey, I want this done. Who can do it?
Oh,
and some
my
guy from
gosh.
Sweden
No
did it for
kidding.
me. Yeah, for real.
Let me see it again. Let me see that again. That's gorgeous, dude. That's gorgeous.
I just sent him kind of a generalized picture and then gave him critiques, and then, yeah, but he implemented the spade and the nose and the hearts and all that
really
cool
good.
stuff.
It's really cool. Well, it's interesting. I think that what you're doing is very cool, and it's also very unique. There's a lot of people. I mean, how do you make that? How do you make headway on YouTube? It's not like network where there's a finite number of 650 channels. You know what I mean? I mean, with
Yeah.
YouTube, it's tens of thousands all vying for some sort of notoriety, and the fact that you've made your way there is impressive. I mean, my career is I'm a little bit further along, obviously, with what I've done, and but
how long did it take you to? I mean, when P90X was first filmed, edited, and all that stuff, from the time when the program blew up, how many years was that?
well, people aren't aware of the fact that initially there was Power 90 prior, and a lot of people think, what the heck was that? I don't know about that. But there's 2 million people that know what Power 90 is, and it helped them lose a lot of weight and get fit, get in shape. Power 90 is the product that built Beachbody.
Right.
So we were, Carl Deichler, John Congdon, Heather Church, me, and Debbie Siebers, basically in a closet, renting space from another infomercial company. And then, we did this thing called Great Body Guaranteed. We ran out of money, had to shoot a bunch of stuff without permits on the beach at 7 o'clock in the morning because we couldn't afford the space anymore.
Right.
But it made money. We bought these wild spots at, in Poughkeepsie, New York, and Baton Rouge, and wherever else we could find cheap media. And people noticed, and they said, hey, let's see if we can make this thing grow. We were starting our track record. Then came Power 90, which was a 90-day at-home workout program, but not a P90X like. It was P90X light.
Right.
4 workouts, a couple of cardio routines, a couple of resistance routines. And then that was the one where, we put it out in the world and everybody said, oh, this is going to be too hard. People don't like to do push-ups and yoga in their house. You're wasting your time. Somebody wants some kind of magical twisting ab chair that's going to help give them a supermodel's body in 3 weeks. And
All the gimmicks.
All the gimmicks. And so our thing was unusual, but the first, it sputtered, and but people were submitting. This is the very early stages of social media, the very early stages where
Internet was really just
internet was
coming
just
around.
going. There were chat rooms, you know what I mean? There was no such thing as YouTube, no such thing as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. No, it was the internet and chat rooms, and websites for large corporations that were starting to put websites up. But in the chat rooms, people were talking. They were sending us their before and after pictures in their video, and we ended up using that in the infomercial, and it went putter, 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 boom. And so we were sitting way up here, and then our CEO Carl said, what do you want to do next? And I said, I think we should do something for the clinically obese. And he said, no, I want to take our P90 Power 90 graduates and give them the next level, and then get people out of the gym, people who can't afford trainers, people who want the best results they can get in their house, as opposed to going to some facility, and get on some machine that's covered in somebody else's DNA. And again, first year, crickets, nothing. Oh well, nice try. And then the before and afters and the videos came in for people who were doing it, and we just put that in the show. And it wasn't pretty, perfect supermodel types who look good in an infomercial. It's your dad, it's your brother, it's your buddy at work, it's somebody you can relate to, and so that's what gave it credibility.
Yeah.
And then we were off to the races at that point. And we've been riding a pretty nice wave. X2, 10-minute trainer, X3, now P90's coming out. We actually believe that P90 is going to be bigger than P90X because it's available to a much larger demographic.
Right.
P90X, an hour
It's
long,
extreme.
6 days a week. A lot
Sometimes
of
an hour and a half.
yoga. That yoga. Did you do the yoga?
I think I've only fully done the yoga, the full hour and a half, twice.
Yeah.
But No, I was doing it. Yoga's the hardest one.
Yeah.
Yoga's the hardest.
Hardest
But that's the
one.
one that will change your body the
Well,
most.
the yoga is the one that allows you to get better at all the other ones. Yoga is the one that helps you prevent injury while you're doing all the other ones. So, if there's a glue in P90X, it's the yoga routine. But it's an hour-long commitment, so a lot of people just choose to do CVX or plyo instead, or go for a run, when none of those things have anything to do with yoga. And so the idea here is, like, I've had a bad shoulder, and I know one of the reasons why my shoulder's gotten bad is because I've gotten away from yoga. Now I'm getting back into yoga, and the yoga's rehabbing my shoulder.
Good.
So,
With the YouTube channel, I was creating content for free, basically, because when I started it, it was at a time where I wasn't aware you could make money off of YouTube. But I was doing it for free just because it was something that I felt I knew a lot about. And then it didn't spark until 4 years later. So it's 4 years of making.
So I'm going to look at my
content.
crew right now. We got 3 years and 2 months to go to get the spark.
No, well, I mean,
How many videos?
3 years in. 3 years in, I was at 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So
well, I think
you're-
because of my popularity, we're moving at a slightly faster rate. But then you see folks that have 800,000 to 4 million. It's like, holy smokes, man! How the heck are we going to get there? But we keep plugging along. We keep working with guys like you who are savvy and want to work with old dudes like me, and who knows. In the process, we help build your brand and we help build mine. But also we help more and more people get fit and healthy and entertained in a way.
Absolutely.
And the really neat thing about what we've been able to do is we've stepped it down. You got X, X2, which is even sort of a graduation program,
Yeah.
to X, X3, X-like, just shorter. Half an hour. We've had great success with that. But we've missed out on a lot of people, I think, and that's the reason why we created P90, which is, it's an acronym for the original Power 90, but it's changed because we've learned so much. And we've had a couple test groups go through it, and the results are awesome. And the great thing is, too, is that they're sticking with it, because they're not an hour and a half. They're 25 minutes, 35, 45 minutes. So everything gets done, and much.
The whole 90 days, like
There's not one workout that's more than 50 minutes long. None.
That's awesome.
And so I think it's more doable. And speaking of which, you've got friends in our YouTube superstars right now.
Jack Douglas,
Jack
Jack's
Douglas,
Films,
yep.
Brock,
is
McGoiter,
Yep.
Olga K.
Olga, right?
The reason we got to meet was pretty much because of Jack. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
He's a good man. And so they're on day 45, give or take.
Yep.
And they're
Getting
seeing
close to day 60, I think now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Day 60 already. Time flies when you're doing P90. But they're in that freak out mode a little bit, and they're doing what you've been doing forever: no alcohol, just eating better, no more junk food, and they're getting their jawlines back, which is nice, and six packs are starting to show up, and the girls' booties are starting to go boom boom, so. It's an interesting lesson for them, and they've been great advocates for the program. The one thing that they do, just like you do, is they're delivering, and you are, delivering the message in a very entertaining way. And you can have the average person who's, not used to being on camera or not used to, performing, tell a pretty incredible story. But when you guys do it, it's just the numbers go through the roof because you guys are very entertaining people.
I told Brock that the toughest, because I've done P90X, the first one for 180 days in a row. It lost like 35 pounds and got down to like 10% body fat. It was awesome. But I told Brock I had to try it and fail it 3 times at different weeks. So I told Brock, I was like, it gets really hard at week 5. Week 7's really hard. And then week 9, I think like week 11. Week 11's really hard. But if you can get through like those weeks, then you're smooth sailing.
Look, I've had injuries. My shoulder's bad. I've torn my bicep tendon. Whatever. But the idea here is, and I want to say this partly because I know what level you want to go to now that you want to kind of, you want to be with WWE and and beyond, is that you got to keep fighting, man. You have to really what's the goal? I mean, you've written all these great goals about who you want to meet and what you want to do and where you want to go, and as you get there, you start crossing them out. Most people are just living this sort of, wing it lifestyle. They really just get up, they go to work, and before they know, 40 years have gone by, and they haven't done anything close to what you've done in 24 years. So you should be very proud, you know. But I also know that you want to get a little bit bigger, a little bit leaner, a little bit stronger. You're doing Body Beast right now, which I think is really good. But you need to add those days where you're cutting, you know what I mean? Where you're really, you want to be, you know, I'm not a big dude as you can tell, but I'm very
You're vascular.
I'm very vascular. I look like a friggin' heroin addict. I mean, you know, boom. But I don't do that, of course. I just lift and work hard. But it's a 6-day week equation: lifting, cardio, and doing it all.
Nutrition.
Yeah, yeah. You might want to shave your whole body too. That'll add to your look.
I got we got some Nair coming.
Yeah, nice.
It should be in the mailbox right now.
Nice,
Or a
nice.
week ago. I got a big fight on Friday, so
Oh, good.
I'm trying to
Narrow it
cut
up.
down for it.
Now, do you shave the beard? The beard's kind of a cool look.
The beard. I asked I've asked. I was like, should
What's
I
the
keep the beard? And the beard is it's good for bad guys.
Yeah, right.
When you have a clean shaven baby face, you're a good guy, you know.
Well, this is the first time they've seen me shaven in a while. I've had a little
goatee going.
a goatee and a little scruff, but I had a job yesterday. I had to shave, so I look silly. Well, you know, there we were today in the promenade, just strolling along. And we ran into that gal who was playing guitar, Lakin is her name, I believe. A lot of memory flashbacks. What I thought was really kind of interesting, and I don't know if the camera caught it or not. It's caught you, but I had sunglasses on. You know, we did this fun little bit where we kind of made it rain and we filled her bucket with money, and that was you. That was you a year ago.
Yeah.
Out in the street. That was me quite a while ago, 20 years ago plus. But you know, there we were on the street, hopes, aspirations, dreams, goals.
Felt like we were talented enough to
and to have the cojones to get out there and do something. You had a real skill. I mean, you know, yours was kind of up close and personal, but you would blow on people's minds. Me, I was using, you know, the human body. I was doing something very physical. I mean, obviously it kind of translates to what I do now. But, you know, I was doing the walk in the wind and the box and all that kind of thing, and I was, you know, doing the robot stuff, and it was, you know, very 70s, but it worked at that time. And to be able to see her there, young gal, very talented. I mean, she could play almost any song whatsoever. And it just goes to show you that it's important to try to do that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, if it's in there, if it's in your heart, if it's in your soul, to say no to it, you just feel so empty and awful. And look, as a result of taking those kinds of risks and being in front of an audience, it's easy for me. You know, people think, is it hard in front of a camera? I'm actually more comfortable in front of a camera than I am at a cocktail party. I mean, I go to these social events, and I'm just the biggest, weirdest dork. I don't know what to say or to do, but you put 5,000 people in front of me, a bunch of cameras, and I am ready to roll, you know?
Right.
It's just weird. It takes
is.
years, and you're at the early stages of that, which is really kind of cool. But what I was going to say was, here we were, we did this bit, we dropped the money in her bucket, and at that point in the song, she looks at us and she says, and I don't know if she added it or was part of the song, and I just want to thank you, you know? And I just think, oh my God, I'm welling up.
It hit,
I had this boom, and I looked over at you and I see you welling up, and then you bolt, and I went, wow, you know, that's important stuff. That's important stuff. It's a connection.
I didn't think that was going to go down like that.
Those are the best times, right? I mean, who knows
yeah.
when you're going to feel those emotions, and not to stifle them, you know? But to let them be there, because those are the good times, you know what I mean? To feel like that. A lot of people are all walled up. You're a performer, I'm a performer, she's a performer. You can't wall up. You have to you have to be open. And at the same time, keep plugging ahead and open up those doors and falling down and getting up and open up another door and fall down and get up. And you know, it's going to be fun to watch your career and to see where you go. You don't drink or smoke, so you're not going to get sidetracked like a lot of people do. Seems like you got a good head on your shoulders. And same thing with me. I was an absolute F up. And then I started exercising and eating better. And then all these problems that I had went away. Not because I went to grad school or I did go to, self-help seminars and I read some books and things. But I just had the energy and enthusiasm to stop saying no and to just say yes. You know, I'm watching this is whether they record this, use this or not, I don't know, but I'm watching the Roosevelts on PBS right now.
Mm-hmm.
And this quote from Teddy Roosevelt, and I'll beat the crap out of it, basically said, I used to be afraid of everything. And then I got so tired of being afraid, I just faked it for a while until I was no longer afraid anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to, that's why I tell fans, because the biggest things that my fans want to know is how do you just go up and perform magic to a complete stranger? And it's just like, well, or how do you become confident? That's their biggest thing. How do I get confidence? I said you have to fake it in order to make it, not fake it to make it, like, but in order to be confident, you have to fake.
You have to put yourself in the position to be able to do what you'd like to be able to do. And by the way, it's not going to go perfectly every time, and you're going to be scared to freaking death, but you're going to learn something. And each time you do it, I notice that each time I do it, I don't like this. I mean, this is easy because we're just talking, but even in front of a large audience. I mean, I was at UPenn Medical Center, receiving the Chevalier Jackson Health and Wellness Leadership Medal from the Otorhinolaryngology Department. Right? Like, I couldn't even say that. It would take me 2 years to rehearse that line. But here I am in front of the top head, neck, and throat surgeons from around the world, receiving an honor based on my preventative techniques so that these guys don't have to work as much. And, was I a little bit nervous in front of that crowd? A little bit. But I knew what I wanted to say, and I knew that my Billy Idol impression would go over huge. And so you just get up there, and, the other thing, too, is I'm not attached to the outcome like I used to be. And I used to go to QVC, right? And, a lot at stake. There's, hundreds of thousands of dollars of inventory. You're on there. It's live TV around the world. And people would say, "Are you nervous?" I said, "I used to be, but then after you do it a dozen times, you just get up there and you have a good time and you have fun, right?" So, and then when people see that, when they see that confidence and they see that you're talented and they see that you're pretty good at what you do, then more and more people are drawn in.
Every performer has to go through that phase. Michael
You
Jackson
do. Sure.
was nervous, I'm sure.
Sure.
Beyonce, Rihanna, Eminem all had to go through that.
And the hardest
Pre-screen
thing too is a lot of people don't make those early mistakes when they're younger. And when you're younger and you get the cojones or the right people behind you, you adapt quicker. You're not as devastated if it doesn't go as well. But when you get into your later teens, 20s, 30s, and you've got all these great ideas and goals and aspirations, sometimes one hit just takes you out. Especially if you already got a job that pays you money and family that you got to feed and a mortgage or bills to pay. It's really hard to kick your dreams in later in life. But the same rules apply regardless of where you are in age. Whether you're a little kid or a young teenager or somebody in their 30s or 40s. Anybody can have it any time. You just got to be willing to spend, a couple years getting your ass kicked a little bit. Yeah. That's all. Well, dude, pleasure meeting you.
It's been real fun.
Really fun. Let's wrestle. Oh yeah, we're both.